What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a very exciting brand new Liverpool transfer news video where we will talk about Chelsea's big talent Colwill, who was on loan at Brighton last season, and he's a 20-year-old centre-back who would be absolutely perfect for Liverpool, who are really focusing on trying to sign a centre-back. So we will take a look at the reports in detail in this video, and we will also talk about what kind of player Colwill is and how he would fit in at Liverpool. And also we have other rumors and news about Liverpool potentially selling Thiago, which please Liverpool don't sell Thiago. He's a world-class midfielder, and if we manage to his minutes carefully and his workload, he could become a world-class midfielder, very important and very integral part for Liverpool still, not just for next season but for the years to come. That's my opinion. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below, and get this video to 500 likes again, and keep being subscribed so you never miss out on the latest news about Liverpool's transfer dealings. And David Lynch, who is a very reliable journalist, is reporting that Liverpool have already talked with the agent of Colwill, and he is interested in a Liverpool move. He doesn't really want to stay at Chelsea. Chelsea are in big turmoil, and they are a graveyard for young players and youth academy players coming through at the moment, with so many new signings that Chelsea are doing every 6 months, every transfer window. It's absolute chaos at Chelsea, and Colwill is not really enthusiastic about staying at Chelsea, but this will be a hard deal to pull off because Chelsea would sell to a direct rival, but they already sold Havertz to Arsenal, they already sold Kovacic to Man City. So if Liverpool bid enough money, David Lynch is saying that Liverpool could persuade Chelsea to sell Colwill, but he's going to be absolutely perfect for either Chelsea or Liverpool, whoever gets him next season, because he's homegrown. He's one of the biggest young English talents when it comes to defenders. And with Lynch reporting this, it might mean that Liverpool want Colwill to force a move out of Chelsea, because probably we have inquired about Colwill a few times and Chelsea said pay a huge amount of money or we are not selling Colwill. I mean, even Brighton, who wanted to sign Colwill after him having a really good season at Brighton, and he helped Brighton finish in their highest ever position and qualify for Europe for the first time in the club's history. Colwill played 22 games in total, 17 games in the Premier League, and the season before last season he was on loan at Huddersfield in the Championship, where he played 32 games, scoring 2 goals. He's mainly a centre-back, but he can play left-back as well. But his main position is centre-back. His current market value is 30 million euros, but I think Liverpool would have to pay at least 40 million pounds, 45 million, maybe with add-ons it could go up to 50 million if we really want to price him away from Chelsea. He is a very tall player, 187 centimeters tall, so that's ideal for a player like him. And as I said, he's only 20 years old. He is playing for the England under 21 side. He has 9 games playing for them. He only has 54 games in professional football, so he's still very inexperienced, but he's a huge talent, and Liverpool would be foolish not to try and get him. And basically I can see a scenario, and David Lynch also said that if Colwill doesn't agree a contract extension with Chelsea, then Chelsea might be tempted to sell him, just like they did with Mason Mount. His contract expires in 2025, so he has only 2 years left on his contract, and if Chelsea don't sell him now, he wants guarantees to be a regular starter at Chelsea, and I don't think he's getting that. I don't think he's getting that at Liverpool. He's a class player, but it's very hard to pull this transfer off with giving Colwill enough assurances that he will play a lot of games, plus giving Chelsea what they want, which is a lot of money for a really young talented player. Probably Liverpool are tempted to sign Colwill because it's a now or never situation. If Colwill signs a contract extension, then he will stay at Chelsea for a long time, and also we could be looking to sign a long-term successor for Virgil van Dijk. That's how highly Liverpool rate this kid. That's how highly many experts rate Colwill, and he would definitely get a few games filling in, as a back three when we are on the attack and Trent slots into midfield. Liverpool are essentially playing with a back three, and Colwill could play either in the place of Robertson or in the place of the left-sided centre-back. And that's where I think Liverpool are looking to sign somebody, because we already have Matip and Konate and potentially Joe Gomez to play on the right side of the centre-back role. But on the left side, we only have Virgil van Dijk. There could be a different strategy though. If Colwill doesn't sign a contract extension, Liverpool could wait 1 year and try to get this deal done. And next summer, when Colwill only has 1 year left and Chelsea basically have to sell. And some people are saying that Colwill, Chelsea might ask for 60, 70, even 80 million pounds. So for that price, I wouldn't get him, because he's a big talent, but he's not a fully developed centre-back. I mean, for 80 million you are getting Joško Gvardiol. Gvardiol already informed Leipzig through his agents that he wants to move to Man City, and Man City are in talks with Leipzig to sign Gvardiol. So for 80 million to sign a big talented centre-back is way overpriced in my opinion. So this deal overall I think is very difficult for Liverpool to complete unless Colwill forces a move. But I like that Liverpool are very ambitious and we are trying for these really top talented centre-backs, and maybe Chelsea will budge because they definitely need to get money in further if they want to strengthen their team and especially their midfield. After selling Mount, Havertz, Kovacic, they basically have 2 or 3 senior midfielders and that's it. But after Colwill, we have some other options. We have Inacio, the Sporting centre-back, we have Van de Ven, but those are, of course, a level below Colwill when it comes to how talented they are. They are still good options, because they would only come in as third choice centre-back, probably behind Konate and Van Dijk. But I really see Liverpool as a very ambitious club in the transfer window right now, and we are trying everything to try and get a very talented centre-back over the line, and that would be fantastic. And David Lynch is convinced that Liverpool would pay a quite big fee for Colwill if that's the only way that Liverpool could get him, and I think that's the case. And Colwill also admitted that Steven Gerrard was one of his role models, one of his idols growing up. He said, "I was amazed by him. I used to have pictures of him in my room." Does this mean that Colwill was a Liverpool fan growing up? Maybe not, but he was definitely a fan of Steven Gerrard. And that doesn't harm Liverpool's chances of getting him, that's for sure. Colwill, after having a decent loan spell at Huddersfield, he had enjoyed a breakthrough season at Brighton, playing in the Premier League, and Brighton had a £30 million bid rejected by Chelsea, and Brighton don't have as much money as Liverpool, so Brighton basically pulled out of the deal, saying that we are not going to pay 50 million for Colwill. On the other hand, Liverpool have that kind of money. It's just a matter of whether Liverpool think Colwill is worth that price. But I think if Liverpool could persuade Colwill that he would get enough playing time, and if we would say if Van Dijk or Konate needs a rest in the Europa League, Colwill will start all of the games. We can promise him that. In the League Cup, he can start all of the games, and in the Premier League, he will still start 5 to 10 games at least, maybe even more. If Van Dijk or Konate gets injured, we should promise Colwill that he will play. He will be the first name on the team sheet after Van Dijk and Konate. So that would give him enough playing time and enough minutes to develop further and to grow. And another journalist is saying that even though Liverpool have been told that Colwill is not really for sale, Liverpool have spoken to Levi Colwill. How do you pronounce his first name? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below. So Liverpool have spoken to Colwill's camp, his agent, his representatives, stating even at a record price they would be interested. He's one reason why they haven't signed the centre-back yet. Liverpool also inquired to Chelsea directly, but Chelsea reiterated that Colwill is not for sale, and they will try to offer him a long-term contract, but his wages will have to be within Chelsea's new wage structure. So Colwill will talk with the new Chelsea manager Pochettino after the under-21 Euros. Southgate told Levy that he wants to start him at Euro 2024, but he has to be a regular starter this season, so that's his main motivation. But will he be a regular starter at Chelsea? I'm not so sure, because Chelsea still have quite a lot of centre-backs on their books. The big question is, how willing is Chelsea letting one of their biggest talents go to a rival club? But I don't really understand Chelsea's strategy. They already sold Kai Havertz to Arsenal, their direct rival, and that will make Arsenal better, that signing, even though Havertz didn't have a great season. They sold Mason Mount to Man United, another of their direct rivals for the top four. And Mason Mount will definitely make Man United better. I mean, Mason Mount probably is the best Chelsea Youth Academy player coming out of the Chelsea Youth Academy for the past like 5 to 10 years, but it definitely makes Man United better. So if I was a Chelsea fan, I would be absolutely furious by how the club is run. It's absolutely a scattergun, chaotic approach to running a football club, and they are just throwing everything at the wall, seeing what sticks, and the incredible money that is wasted at Chelsea. I mean, they are selling Koulibaly to Saudi Arabia 1 year after signing him. I mean, that's absolutely a lunatic approach to running a football club. And I can understand why Colwill is hesitant to stay at Chelsea, because it's absolute chaos at the moment, and there is no guarantee that Chelsea would finish in the top 4 next season, or even in the top 6. David Lynch reiterated that Liverpool really like Colwill. He is homegrown. He fits the bill in so many ways. He would be the ideal signing in that position. It's a difficult one, because Brighton have already given up on signing him. It looks like they will go for Calvin Bassey instead, because they didn't get the impression that they could get a deal for Colwill over the line. But Liverpool have got a lot more money than Brighton, and probably the ability to do a deal at a bigger amount that Brighton were in for. Maybe if it gets to the point where Colwill says, I'm not signing new contract further down the line this summer, he doesn't feel there are guarantees enough over his playing time, maybe that option opens up for Liverpool and they can really pursue it. I know there has been contact on the Colwill's agent's side with Liverpool. They're keeping tabs on him. If Liverpool get even the slightest bit of encouragement from Chelsea that there is a deal possible for Colwill, then they will go for it. The big question, how long does Liverpool wait on this deal? Or do we give it until like August, and if it doesn't happen, then we sign somebody else? That's the big question. At the moment, it looks like Matip, Gomez and Konate and Van Dijk will stay at Liverpool, but Liverpool, I think, should sign a young, talented centre-back. But if Colwill is our first choice, maybe it's worth waiting a month for him to see whether Chelsea will sell him or not. And if not, then Liverpool can go for other targets. Also, big news, yesterday evening it broke. Fabrizio Romano reported that Al Ahly signed Bobby Firmino. I'm a little bit torn on this transfer. It's great that Bobby Firmino secures his future financially for him and his family for generations to come, but he already earned incredibly good amounts of money at Liverpool, so I'm not sure if he needed to do this transfer. However, Al Ahly is still a really big club in Asia. They are one of the biggest clubs in Saudi Arabia and also one of the biggest and most successful clubs in Asia, but I still don't like the transfer. I would have preferred Firmino to go to somebody like Real Madrid, who don't really have a striker after Benzema leaving to Saudi Arabia as well. Imagine Firmino playing for Real Madrid, one of the biggest clubs in the world. But maybe he didn't get offers from any big clubs. We don't know. That's the problem. We don't know whether Firmino got offers from clubs like Atletico Madrid or Real Madrid, or maybe the offer was just too good to turn down. I mean, he would be earning crazy amounts of money at Saudi Arabia. Not that he really needs it, but he grew up in a very poor family, in a very poor neighborhood, in a very poor town or city. So I can understand why Firmino wants to earn as much money as possible during his playing career. And James Pearce is reporting that Khéphren Thuram is not really a target for Liverpool anymore, which is a real shame because I think he's hugely talented. But Liverpool wanted 2 box-to-box midfielder, and we got those in Szoboszlai and McAllister. Liverpool are moving for a young centre-back if the right option option becomes available. But James Pearce also is reporting that Liverpool won't pursue a third midfielder unless somebody leaves. Will that mean that Thiago will be sold? I'm not so sure, and I don't really want Thiago to be sold. But if we get a huge offer from Saudi Arabia for like 20 million, maybe Thiago will be sold. I'm not really sure on that. I think it's a dangerous strategy. I already said that Liverpool, of course, should sign a defensive midfielder because if Fabinho gets injured or if Fabinho has another bad season, then expecting Bajcetic to really stand up and deliver world-class performances week in, week out for Liverpool is a very risky strategy. But also, Lavia is just 1 year older than Bajcetic, and you could argue, if you have an 18-year-old already who is very talented in your club, do you need to sign another 19-year-old who would cost around 50 million? If we could get Lavia for cheaper, and if we could get him for maybe 35 million plus 5 to 10 million in add-ons, then I would do that deal, because I think Liverpool need options in that department as well, and it's better to have Lavia and Bajcetic to call upon if something happens with Fabinho, either bad form or injuries or something. Because what if Fabinho gets injured and Bajcetic shows his inexperience and costs us some games? That could be the difference between winning the title or not. It all depends on how much money Liverpool have available still. And I also love this quote about Dominic Szoboszlai, that he said, as soon as I heard that Liverpool were serious in getting me, I didn't think about the Champions League. I will gladly sacrifice a year. Instead, I will try to win the Europa League with Liverpool, because that is the goal of the team, and that's the kind of mentality that new Liverpool players need to have. They need to push the train and not just run on the moving train, as famously Jurgen Klopp said it before. That's it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.